Hello? Hello?
Podcast Network Asia.
Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. If this is your first time watching the show, because if you haven't noticed, we're available on video on Spotify only. If this is your first time listening or watching the episode, welcome to the show. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you do, go ahead and check out the other amazing episodes that we have here on the show. And if this is your nth time listening to the podcast, then welcome back. I am so happy that you are still here, still invested in personal development, still invested in growth. And I am just so super freaking excited for this episode because today I have not only one guest, but two amazing guests that I have here who is also starting their new season for their podcast episode. And I'm so proud to welcome the two hosts of the podcast, Quarter Life Bliss Podcast, Yani and Gold. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, and I'm just really
I'm
thankful.
First time.
You know, Yani, she guested on my episodes before. We talked about manifestation, how to protect your money, and how to grow your money, and all the things about abundance. And we have a very special guest here who is also a fellow coach inside the I Am Plus or the A-Quest community. I'm just so happy right now because the two people that I have here, they're really invested in not just personal development, but overall transformation in people's lives, whether it's their own lives and the lives of other people. Now, one thing that I really want to talk about for this episode is transformation. Because knowing your stories, you didn't start here. You've gone through a lot of things that led you to this point.
Yep.
So my question is, when did that transformation happen? And what was the main lesson that really propelled you to transform your lives for the better?
Una ka na yan eh.
Oh, sige. I love the question. When did the transformation happen? I think it really started when I decided to, you know what? I don't want to be stuck here. I don't want to be like this forever. I don't want to be a supporter, just a support person for the rest of my life. I have big dreams. And if I don't start reaching my goals today, then I'll be stuck here forever if I'm not not gonna change the way I live my life today, then it's gonna be like that forever, diba? So, yeah, when I realized that, immediately I changed the way I live my life, the way I treated myself, the way I treated the people around me, and really started embracing transformation every day. Because transformation is not just an overnight thing.
Yes.
No, na tomorrow, transformed na ako. Tomorrow, I'm a new person, no? But it's a day-to-day, moment-to-moment choice to, you know what, if before ito yung decisions na ginagawa ko, now ganito na. So, yun yung talagang parang turning point for me when I realized na if I stay like this, what I was doing before, my life won't change, my dreams won't manifest, and yeah, life will continue being stuck and living by chance and not by choice.
I love that. I love how you emphasized on the point that transformation happens on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't happen overnight. And I felt at the beginning of your story as well, because you mentioned your story a lot of times to me, Naren. One of the major things is that small feeling of maybe disgust at yourself now. Okay, I don't want to be like this forever. No, I gotta change. Did you feel that way?
Medyo, like, I know I'm not growing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not having the best life. And it's because of my choice to stay that way. So sabi ko, you know, I'm tired of this. Parang there was one time in my life in 2019 na nagsabay-sabay na lahat ng problems. Tapos I felt so stuck that what do I do now? Parang all these people who I know love me, who I know would support me, suddenly are gone. All the opportunities that I wanted, suddenly I don't want them anymore. Sabi ko, ano nang gagawin ko sa life ko, no? I think it's really time to change. Time to change my space. Time to change the time I give myself. Time to change slowly, every day, may binabago ko. And that's when transformation happened in my life. And I think hanggang ngayon we are continuously transforming. Like, di ba, we were checking.
Yes.
You were just telling me earlier how I looked before and now and even now, like every time, I know I'm changing, I'm growing because I allow it. I allow myself to learn something new, to grow, to experience something better. And yeah, you can see the change in you and you get excited to change even more.
I love that. Now you get to see the change because I feel like people get discouraged so fast, especially when it comes to transforming their own lives, that they don't see any progress. But you gotta understand as well with your story, and I'm sure with everyone's story about transformation, is that it really begins with a choice. That choice starts with you that I will change now, whether the circumstances will allow me to change or whether the situation or the resources I have will allow me to change. I don't care. I will change right now. And now you're seeing just more of the progress. And now you're just more excited to just transform every day because of that progress. I love that. Thank you.
I think people only see who I am now,
Yes.
but they don't see the process. When I decided to take the step to get a better life for myself, that's what people don't see. They just see that Yani now. They get so impressed. They like me. They feel like ang galing ganyan. But to be honest, during those times na when I decided to transform my life, and I don't know, saan yun magle-lead? Alam mo yung parang you're taking a step where you don't know where it's gonna go, but you know it's gonna go somewhere better. And yeah, I guess if your listeners are also in the process of transforming, changing, as long as you know you're heading towards somewhere where you will live a better life, you will be your best self, then go. Minsan hindi mo talaga alam where it will take you. I mean, I just posted yesterday that 3 years ago I didn't know where my life would be, but I'm thanking myself 3 years ago because I took the chance to really hustle, really do the work, really do the inner work and the transformation. And little did I know this is where I will be today, diba?
Yeah, I think the old Yani or your past self really
Layo
deserves
na.
a pat on the back. Congratulations, past self, for taking care
Layo
of
talaga.
Yeah. How about you, Gold?
Ako naman, siguro I'd like to begin by sharing with making everyone understand that transformation is really for everyone. Parang everything that's happening in our life right now is all about transformation. For some of you, transformation is a hoo-hoo word or a big word. For some, it's enlightenment. For some, they call it evolution. Or for some, they simply call it change. No, before I share how I experienced my awakening or transformation, I'd like for everyone to understand that even before we were born, we are transforming. But we started with the right sperm meeting the right egg.
Yeah.
And that two entities or elements combined together form certain chromosomes kung ano na hanggang sa maging fetus na. And then during the 9 months of fetal development, we are continuously transforming. And nung isinilang na tayo sa mundong ito, we keep on evolving, 'di ba? And lahat tayo dadating sa point na magta-transform tayo. So yung iba, they experience their awakening through near-to-death experience, which I'm glad hindi ko yun naranasan. Na bago ba ako mag-transform, kailangan ko pang ma-aksidente or kailangan ko pang ma-experience yung mga fatal moment. Yung iba naman, in terms of being broken, in terms of relationship. In my case, I experienced transformation because naranasan ko yung kahirapan ng buhay. So parang I was sharing it to you before na early on, experience na magutom, na experience ko na limited lang lahat ng resources. So that's why I started questioning things. And that's the beginning of every transformation. You start questioning everything. I question, ito lang ba talaga yung buhay na ma-experience ko in this lifetime? And then, siguro yung magutom ka, kung malam yung sikmura mo, for me, enough na yon for me to continuously seek for answers. How can I change this kind of life? So I started doing things, which is studying well at school, stepping into leadership during my university days as a student leader, and then started reading books, started attending personal development courses. Because I made up my mind that time that, yes, I want a simple life, but I don't want a poor life. So it started with the need na makakain, the need na mabago yung buhay.
What I love about what you shared is that I think it also resonates with the fact that people, when I, came across success at the early stages of it, like you can only see success if you want it as bad as you want it to be. And I think what you experience, and I think also a lot of people can also see for themselves now, okay, this is not where I want to be in life. So there's a little bit of unsettlement now. I don't want to settle for this, right? And so that's where I'm going to see change. So you enrolled in personal development programs, you read books, but what was the kind of principle that really propelled you to that next level or really allowed you to transform to where you are right now?
Yung mantra ko sa buhay that I am beyond what's written in my bank account. So parang I am more than what's written in my bank account. So I have to really start building how I see myself, which is self-image. Na yun naman yung nadulot sa akin ng kababasa ko ng libro, attending all these seminars. Everything should start from within. So kaya nga siya tinawag na transformation, because we really have to go beyond the form. We really need to change internally so that we can create the external results that we want. So yun, sabi ko, hindi pwede. Ang tingin ko kasi dati sa sarili ko is mahirap, hindi worthy, hindi deserving. So even if I achieve everything externally, makapagtapos ako ng pag-aaral, makahanap ako ng trabaho, kumita ako ng malaki, if I still see myself as not worthy, not deserving, then babalik lang din ako dun sa same negative results that I had.
Wow. Okay, so what I got is like, it's really about the self-image.
Yes.
Like when you change your self-image, the results will follow. It really begins with the self. Now, I know a lot of people here are also interested. Okay, I want to change my self-image. I want to see the transformation in my life, but I don't know where to start. So can you share some tools that you used, whether it's a small tool, changing a habit, changing a thought, or whether it's like a big tool in your life that you still use right now that just allows you to change or adjust the self-image that you have?
I guess for me, it's really writing down, starting with really pinpointing what are my negative belief systems going back to when I was a child. What were the beliefs that I resonated to, that I believed was true for me growing up, and being aware around it and taking the steps to really change the way I look at myself. So for example, before, I used to have the negative belief of I'm not good enough. So kahit anong gawin ko, kahit na naging ambassador na ng Philippines, kahit na awardee, kahit anong gawin ko, ang nasa isip ko, I'm not good enough. Wala yan, di ba? So when I noticed that, ay, teka lang, ito na pala yung negative belief ko. That's why my results didn't matter for me, because all this time, ang inisip ko lang, I'm not good enough. I changed the way I approach, the way I see myself. So, I changed it to I'm good enough. Alam mo yun, binaliktad ko talaga, ginawa ko siyang positive affirmation, and I started collected evidences that, yeah, I am good enough. And started to really, parang appreciate, affirm the things that are happening in me that will say, yeah, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm enough. And
So did you kind of like write it down on a paper?
oh yeah, definitely. Pinpointing. So I was connected to a coach, and a coach really helped me. And when I realized that the root cause of my negative belief, negative self-image is I'm not good enough, then I started to change it. I guess yun yung importante, that we really become aware of our negative belief about ourselves, that we continuously convince ourselves that it's true.
Yes.
Did you ever feel like you were just faking it? Because I feel like a lot of people who are in the process of
Oh my gosh,
changing their
yeah.
self-image. Like,
Yeah.
totoo ba? Ako ba talaga to?
Oo, na parang, I remember I was, isipin nyo ambassador ng Philippines for UN. UN lang naman. Pagdating ko ba naman sa classroom, sasabihin ng prof sa akin na, di ka pa rin nag-aral. Parang, talaga, parang UN lang yan. Dapat inuna mo pa rin yung college. Parang, for me, parang, oh my gosh, oo nga, UN lang to. So talagang, I wasn't noticing, affirming, appreciating the things that I do. Simply because, kahit na I wanted to change it, I wanted to prove that, yeah, I'm good. The people around me kept telling me that, no, kulang pa din, hindi pa din enough. And so yeah, if you're asking if we need to write it, yeah, we really need to write it.
Yeah,
Write it down.
Did you feel like you were faking it?
Yeah, definitely, no? Especially if people around you are telling you na hindi pa din talaga yan, it's not gonna work. So I write it down, and then I write down. So feel ko kasi for me, no, pag nakasulat siya, mas nagiging more aware ako. So, and then I consciously change the way I look at myself and catch, ito yung pinaka-importante, that you catch yourself whenever you tell yourself, I'm not good enough. Whenever you tell yourself the negative belief that you believe is true. Yeah. Yun yung, I guess, ginawa ko talaga when I started.
Yeah. How about you, Gold?
For me, since limited lang yung pananaw ko sa buhay because I grew up in a province, sa Quezon, no? So, parang feeling ko, yun lang yung buhay na meron ako. So, that's why one of the tools that's been so helpful to me is creating a vision board or a dream board.
Wow, okay.
Diba? Because everything starts with belief. No, yung paniniwala mo that it's possible. It's really not action equals results. It's really belief equals result. What you believe in will eventually manifest or turn into reality. That's why when I attended a personal development course, that opened an eye for me to, pwede pala akong mangarap. So I started creating my own vision board. Mga old school way niyan, sa magazine ka pa kukuha. Yung car na gusto mo.
Mahal pa yung print
diba?
nun eh.
Sa illustration board.
Diba? Living in a condo, or maybe earning this much money. And that time, it's as simple as having my own refrigerator. So ganun. As in, nag-cut ako ng refrigerator because never kami nagkaroon ng ref sa bahay. So, but aside from doing a vision board for myself, because you cannot go to a place that you're not familiar yet, no? So I have to familiarize myself. Ito pala yung possibilities, no? Minsan kasi parang ang daming tao na pag nag-declare ka ng dreams mo, people will question it. People will say to you na it's not really possible. That's why, aside sa vision board that I created, I also created a very powerful mantra. No, when I say mantra, it's really mind vehicle. So ito yung ginagamit ko before. Yung mantra ko is, this is simple, this is easy, this is fun. This is simple, this is easy, this is fun. This is simple, this is easy, this is fun. So every time I would look at my vision board and then my limiting belief would tell me it's not possible, I would fight it with my mantra, which is, hindi, madali lang yan, masaya yan, kaya yan. Simple lang yan. Then, true enough, no? Nagka-ref na manifest, and then magugulat ka na lang, minsan makakalimutan mo na yung nilagay mo sa vision board, but pag nahalungkat mo yun sa cabinet mo or saan mo siya tinago, parang there's a magical effect that, it happened.
Ang ganda lang. What really surprises me, and I know that this is not a very exceptional story because that's the law of the universe. You know,
Yes.
when you really change your belief system, your reality could change. And I just love how you pointed that out. No, it's not actions equals results. It's not better actions equals better results. It's better beliefs equals better results.
Yes.
And if you, I also like what's mind blowing right now is you cannot be in that place unless you're unfamiliar with it, which is why vision boards are really working for some people. And it's really helpful because you're now familiarizing yourself that your brain knows that this is real. This is possible. This is for you if you're really familiar with it. One thing that I learned when it comes to vision boards or visualization or even goal setting is that you attach a certain emotion to it.
Yes.
So that's why if you really, for example, you want to manifest going to Paris, like think of a moment that you're in Paris and then you're going to the coffee shop and you're gonna get a bagel or a coffee at a cafe in Paris. So what you can do now is you can go right now, you can go to 7-Eleven and then you just think that you're walking, you're imagining yourself and you're just happy because you can see yourself walking to 7-Eleven, thinking that you're going to that cafe and then drinking that coffee and thinking that this is the best coffee in Paris or something like. It's not just in your mind, your heart is familiar with it. And now you can see it in your reality.
And the body as well.
Yeah.
Because you're physically doing it. And you know what's good about it, Alec? That's the power of visualization. I read about a study that when you start visualizing things, incorporating your mind, your emotion, and your physical body. Let's say, for example, yung sinabi mo kanina, visualizing yourself going to Paris. Your subconscious mind would treat that as a reality.
Yes, as thinking as if
Yes.
it's already happening.
So tomorrow, if you die, if kunin ka na ni Lord, your subconscious mind would treat that as dream come true.
Yeah.
And not a fake it till you make it thing.
Yeah, and what that allows you to experience it is not you only experience that, because I feel like the experience itself, it's good.
Yes.
Slash, you can take photos, it's fun, but at the same time, it's the feeling that you really want to experience.
Yes.
That you when you're in Paris, what do you feel? You feel grateful, you feel bliss, you feel appreciation, you feel love. That's the emotion that you really want to experience, not the experience itself, but the emotion that is attached to it. So now when you do the thing that you just shared, you have the possibility of experiencing it twice.
Yes.
Because now you get to experience it right now. And then when that happens,
Yes.
which has a higher chance of happening because now your energy is just really focusing on that thing, you get to experience it again. And that's really amazing.
Galing.
Galing, diba? Belief equals results talaga.
Kaya nga sabi ni I think si Bo Sanchez, sabi niya, everything is created twice. First in mind, second in reality.
Yeah, and that's also something that I always relate to my viewers and my listeners is that if you can see it in your mind, you can see it in your hands.
Yes.
And the only thing really is holding you back is your belief.
Yeah.
Like you don't really believe that, first of all, you can do it. And second of all, you deserve it. Now, once you remove that gap that you are deserving and you are capable, you can now go through manifestation and really collapse time to make sure that happens.
And dyan ka magaling, Yani.
Yes.
Because if I'm gonna ask advice on manifestation to anyone, it would
Yani
probably
Moya.
be you, because
Manifest.
you're literally manifesting
I
every
know.
single thing in your
You know.
I know.
So yeah, can you give us some tips? Because now we know belief. We gotta change that belief. But what are some daily actions that you try to do or you do in your life that just allows you to manifest the things that you want?
Of course, number one is that you really connect to the source through meditation. Very important that you connect to your higher being, to the source. Why? Because that's how you would feel aligned. And when you're aligned to Him, parang everything is possible. You'll step into possibilities. Number two that I wanted to share kanina pa is the gap between the two things is, the fear, doubt, and worry. That's what's stopping people from manifesting. Kasi sabi niya, gusto ko makapunta ng Paris. Ay, hindi. Mahal yung ticket. Paano ko maa-afford? Hala, hindi kaya. Siguro matagal pa to. Siguro hindi to mangyayari kasi imposible. Wala naman akong visa. Wala naman. Alam mo yun? We're overthinking about what's not possible versus what's possible. And when you remove that, diba, whenever I talk about, let's say, my dream car, I'm just gonna buy it next year. I don't know how. I don't know when. But my belief is, it's mine. I'm gonna pay for it full. Diba? When I talk about things that I really want, as if there's no problem around it. So, I guess that's how I really manifest. Number 1 is through meditation. Number 2 is to really clearing all the fear, doubt, worry that goes into my head whenever I want something. I wanna have something na parang feeling ko ba kaya ko ba to? Hindi na. Parang it's already, as if it's already mine. Always preparing myself that it's mine. Tapos na yan. It's a done deal. I'm just waiting na makita ko siya in real life or ma-manifest ko siya in real life.
Ang ganda. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Now, one thing that I think I would ask, I'm not sure how many minutes are we na.
Nabasarap ang usapan.
Oo nga eh.
Like,
Wala nga nakalagay.
25. So, okay. I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm sure that a lot of people, when they want to learn
27.
more, I really want, if you guys really enjoyed this podcast episode, I highly suggest go ahead and check out the Quarter Life Bliss podcast. But before, I actually let you guys go, if there is one thing that you can give or one advice that you can share to people, aside from the things that you shared, for people who wants to see the transformation, but then who are really in a place where they're not seeing that it's possible, when there's fear and doubt and worry. Because right now you might think it's easier to talk about these things because we've experienced it. But if you would go back to your older self and you would give that advice, what's that one advice that you would tell your older self?
Ako stop doubting yourself. No, because I always say this, higher self-worth will lead to higher net worth. So start embracing the good and the not so good about you. So because I think common advice that people would give is just embrace your goodness, your greatness. But at the end of the day, what's stopping people from achieving the success that they want in life is not accepting kung ano yung mga bagay na hindi rin ka gusto-gusto about them. Because kung hindi natin yung tatanggapin as early as now, that would stop us from inviting more blessings to come. And that's part of self-worth.
Wow. First of all, I love what you said about the higher the self-worth, the higher the net worth. We all think that your net worth is equal to your net worth, but we don't see that fact that it really starts with yourself. So the higher the self-worth, the higher the net worth. And I love that piece of advice. How about you, Yani? What do you want to share?
Trust the process.
Yeah.
This is totoo, di ba? Kasi sometimes we question sabi mo, Lord, para sa akin to. Bakit yung opportunity? Bakit biglang, kunwari, sabi mo, Lord, ang work na to is for me. It's my calling. How come ang hirap? Bakit ganito? Ang daming challenges. But if you really trust the process, that everything that's happening in your life is part of the one big story, one big picture that's meant for you, then everything will work out. So for me, until now, even if I'm not yet where I want to be, even if my dreams feel so far, unreachable, unrealistic, I'm just trusting the process, that maybe one day, what I deserve will just show up in my life. And trusting the process also means detaching yourself to the exact outcome that you want, because you never know if there's a bigger plan for you, a bigger and better plan for you. So, ano ibig sabihin nun, no? Kaya nga when we manifest, diba, Gold, we say, let's say, 1 million or more.
Yes.
Because if you attach yourself to the outcome, you're giving limited limited option na eh. You're stepping into limited, not limitless. So that's why I'm saying trust the process, because you don't know what the better, bigger plans are for you. So maybe you have plans for you, but baka meron siyang mas magandang plan.
Kaya ang nilagay ko rin sa dream board ko is, let this or something bigger and better unfold in my life.
Yes. Ako lagi may or more. Or more. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I really love this kinds of conversation because not only do I get to talk about this weird stuff about manifestation that a lot of people are now catching up to. If you're not still sold on the whole idea, go ahead, just try it out. You're not going to lose anything. You're just going to look weird at the beginning, but trust me, it will work out.
Trust me.
But I just really also love the fact that now that I am in this space where I get to talk about these things, I also get supported by it. And I think that also speeds up the process of just any transformation that I want to see, because people who have already transformed saw it in their lives and they're really supporting you because they know it's possible.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, I am beyond grateful for the time that you spent here on the show. Thank you so much for being here. Before I actually let you go, I have a small segment here on Small Talk. It's called Real Talk. So it's kind of like a fast talk, but then really wholesome questions. Don't worry about it. I naalala ko the previous episode with Dimawa.
Bilis na sumagot.
Sex. Hindi yun yung mga
Wala pang ganun tanong. Nasagot na nila.
Ready kami dyan.
But yeah, if you haven't listened to that episode, go ahead. You're going to have a lot of learnings, and at the same, you're just going to laugh your brains out in the previous episode. But so let's start with the question. Basically, what you're going to do is you're just going to answer the question without explanation. So you're going to answer with one word, one phrase, or one sentence.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Ready.
Okay. So if you would be an animal, what animal would you be?
Lion.
Horse.
I always do this. Guys, you know this. If I get a really interesting answer, I would ask why. But so, I want to know why a horse?
Ako? Kasi yung horse, di napapagod. I mean, parang mapapagod ng konti, but tuloy-tuloy pa rin. And the ultimate purpose of a horse is to just serve its master.
Wow.
So, which is me, serving God. Wow. I sing it ko yun!
Okay, second question. How do you define success?
Happiness.
Ease and flow.
How do you define happiness?
Love.
Ako embracing sadness.
Wow.
That's happiness.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Sorry, I'm going to go off script again. But you said something really interesting earlier about if you want to accept your greatness, you got to accept your flaws as well.
Yes.
Because there's this thing called I don't know what the principle is called, but it's basically the more that you accept the negative things about you is itself a positive experience. And the more you try to just become or accept the positive side of you is itself a negative experience.
Yes.
So I love that. Just accepting your truest greatness, meaning you also accept the not so good parts about yourself. Okay. So fourth question would be, what's the worst advice you have ever received?
Worst advice? Baka nakikinig pala yung nag-advise.
No.
Worst advice? Ang hirap naman ng tanong na yun.
Ako din nagpapaisip.
Give it all. No, I think yun yung pinakang main learning ko for... You have to reserve some for yourself. You don't have to give it all. But kung mag-gives ka man talaga, make sure that you're giving from an overflow. Kasi common mindset ng mga Pinoy, sige, ibuhos mo lang lahat. Serbisyong totoo tayo. Or bigay mo lahat.
Correct.
But hindi. At the end of the day, and I think I got that from my mom. Sabi niya kasi, sige lang, kayo magkakapatid, magtulungan lang kayo. So, hindi. At the end of the day, release yourself from the guilt of not giving.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, wala pa rin ako maisip.
That's the worst advice you have ever received, Yani.
Oh my gosh. Next question. Wala akong maisip ngayon. I guess yung... Hindi siya life advice. It's a money advice.
Okay, go.
Sige, go.
Mag-ipon ka.
Juicy yung mga sagot natin.
Mag-ipon ka. Grabe, magsisave lang ako, yayaman ako. Hindi pala. Diba? Growing up, you would hear people telling you, matatanda, lola, tita, tito, parents even, pagtanda mo, mag-ipon ka. Diba? And pag nagtrabaho ka na, mag-ipon ka lang. Diba? Para yumaman and makuha mo yung mga gusto mo. Pero hindi enough na mag-ipon ka. There's a lot of things to consider about money before you actually reach your dreams, your goals. And what? Ano tong sample na to? For example, lakihan mo naman muna yung earning capacity mo. Diba? Learn how to manage your finances. Learn to invest. And protect your finances. All of these things. Pero ang sinasabi sa atin mag-ipon. So ano nangyayari pag tanda natin? Nag-iipon lang. Tapos,
Naipon lang.
Hoard.
Nag-hoard lang ng pera. Pero wala. Hindi natin alam pa paano i-manage.
Or hindi na-experience ang fullness of life.
Correct.
Yes.
Hindi na na-enjoy ang life.
I love that. Okay, last question. What is the best advice you have ever received?
Ako aim to serve. No, yun talaga lagi yung kasi when you give, again, ibabalik yan sa'yo in other way, shape, or form.
Love that.
Giving and receiving lang naman ang only game of life.
Love it.
Mine is pera pa din. Of course, Quarter Life Bliss is a finance podcast, I have to say. So, syempre, puro pera ang ipopromote ko. But actually, no, it's if you wanna earn 1 million, help 1 million people.
Yes, service pa rin.
Service pa din talaga. Add value to people.
And there you have it, guys. These amazing people just gave their best advices and their worst advices. I hope you like them. If you like this episode, go ahead and share this on your Instagram. Do not forget to tag me at Alec Cuenca and tag Quarter Life Bliss Podcast and Coach Yani Moya and at
Gold.ambas.
Gold.ambas. Go ahead, check their profiles out, check their podcast out. It's an amazing podcast, and I've witnessed the recording here, and I know that you're gonna love it if you also love this podcast episode that we do here on the show. And again, thank you guys so much. Promote anything you want to promote anything, and let them know where they could find you.
Yeah, hopefully when you listen to this, we already released season 4 of Quarter Life Bliss podcast. I have Bestie Gold as my co-host for this season. So hopefully you can support that. We are going to be talking about money talks that just makes sense.
Pala yung background natin.
It's going to be fun. We are at our, ngayon? Ano ba to? Studio.
Nakikigamit po si Alec ng
studio
studio.
na.
On tour. The last episode, nasa Timawa studio setup ako ngayon. Quarter Life Bliss Podcast naman.
Yep. So,
Yes.
yeah, you can, again, sinabi mo naman, you can follow, you can check our socials at Quarter Life Bliss Podcast. We are also on Spotify. And yeah. YouTube pala. Quarter Life Bliss
Yes,
Podcast.
ako ganun lang din. Follow on all social media platform. Gold.ambas. FB page, Gold Ambas.
All right, go ahead, check them out. They're also in depth with the love for personal development. So again, guys, thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for spending your time and your energy and your presence here. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I love you guys. And again, my name is Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, Small Conversations with huge impact. Now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. I'll see you guys next episode. Peace.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia, the hosts of the program, or other programs of the network. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.